115 million years ago, an entire continent vanished. Now we found where it's hiding. And this is a map of Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, and Australia in the 5-6 o'clock position. The continent of Argoland, which seemingly vanished after splitting from Australia 155 million years ago, has finally been discovered according to a new study. Continental splits usually leave traces in ancient fossils, rock, and mountain ranges, but up to now, scientists had been unable to find where Argoland had ended up. And now researchers at Utrecht University in the Netherlands think they have uncovered the mysterious landmass hidden under the eastern islands of Southeast Asia. The discovery could help explain something known as the Wallace Line, which is an imaginary boundary that separates Southeast Asia and Australian fauna. We were literally dealing with islands of information, which is why our research took so long. We spent 7 years putting the puzzle together, said study author Eldert Advocaat, the geologist at Utrecht University, in a press release. Argoland shattered into continental ribbons. It took some careful detective work to find where Argoland had gone after breaking off from what would become Australia. Scientists had found bits of ribbon continents around Southeast Asia, but could not piece them back together, Advocaat told Life Science. Nothing fit, he said. And finally they had an epiphany. What if Argoland started off as a series of continental fragments rather than a solid chunk? The situation in Southeast Asia is very different from places like Africa and South America, where a continent broke neatly into two pieces, Advocaat said. Argoland splintered into many different shards. That obscured our view of the continent's journey, he said. Working from this hypothesis, they found that Argoland had not really disappeared. It had survived as a very extended and fragmented ensemble under the islands to the east of Indonesia. And because this is not a solid mass, but rather a series of microcontinents separated by ocean floor, Advocaat and his Utrecht University colleague, geologist Jo van Hinsberg, coined a new term to define the Argoland more precisely. He calls it an argopelago. Their findings were published October 19 in the peer-reviewed journal Gondwana Research. A barrier that divides marsupials and tigers in southeastern Asia. The research does not only tell us how our planet came to be the way it is today, it could also help scientists understand the bizarre Wallace Line, an invisible barrier that runs through the middle of Indonesia and separates mammals, birds, and even early human species in the Southeast Asian islands, Advocaat told Life Science. The barrier has puzzled scientists because of how starkly it separates the island's wildlife. To the west of the line are placental animals like apes, tigers, and elephants, which are also found in Southeast Asia, but these are almost completely absent to the east, where you can find marsupials and cockatoos, animals typically associated with Australia. And this could be due to Argoland carrying out its own wildlife away from future Australia before it smashed into Southeast Asia. And those reconstructions are vital for our understanding of processes like the evolution of biodiversity and climate, or for finding raw materials, Van Hinsenberg said. The original article was published on Business Insider, and this is by Marianne Guénaud, Business Insider, on Science Alert. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.